Wow, I flicked straight at that guy through the wall.
I'm gonna be honest, chat. I haven't really watched like the entirety of her streams and stuff and these clips. I just know like, you know, that the 13 seconds thing. Like, I just know that that isn't cheating. So if you guys don't want to stare at Twitter, don't worry. I'm not doing. I'm just gonna see what I'm just gonna status check. This quickly became a litmus test on whether you're a burger or not. Very obviously not cheating. You know what's crazy, chat? I came across this pro player. And he thinks that she's cheating. And
like, dude, I tried aim labs recently. Because I was thinking about getting sponsored by them, but honestly at this point I don't think I want to. Because dude, my sensitivity is too low to even play aim labs. Like, I cannot compete in aim labs.
Dude, your sensitivity is too low to play aim labs. Hello? You have to have a high sense. There's nothing. The high sense is required, right? High sense is required to compete in aim labs. God, you have to run high sense. But yeah. Anyways, let's go to this.
Wow, I flicked straight at that guy through the wall.
I'm gonna be honest, chat. I haven't really watched like the entirety of her streams and stuff and these clips. I just know like, you know, that the 13 seconds thing. Like, I just know that that isn't cheating. I can tell you right now that that is a gamble flick that failed.
RileyCS is
She adjusted after.
not cheating. Obviously, there were a lot of people who were interacting
God, I hate Twitter quality.
with the discourse in
we're gonna
bad
deal with
faith, but I do think there was a subset of people who are just genuinely unsure.
Alright, so we're gonna react to
as
this for a
somebody
little
who's been
bit. I
around
might
the
skip a
game
little
community
bit
for a
through
couple
because
years
I've
now,
already.
made
I'm sure you guys have already watched
in the
it.
past and is okay at games myself. Let's break it down. First, we need to understand her play style. Riley plays 4 clips, releasing the fire button. Flick, track, repeat. But better clips will have more kills, bigger flicks, and cleaner tracks. When there's only 1 or 2 people on your screen, a lot of players will go for what we'll call a gamble flick. These are educated guesses as to where another player might be to
This is also like, you can see this even in the aim trainer too. If you play target switching scenarios on a low FOV, you're going to need to make gamble flicks anyways, right? And you'll often find that if you're watching someone good at it, like Rafal, playing like Vox target switch or something, where he has targets off screen inevitably, you will notice that he will take off screen flicks and he will land them anyways, right? You'll see that they'll land perfectly, even though he had no idea, even though he kind of didn't really have any idea besides a sound cue where the target was. That's what gamble flicking is, right? And that's why you can see, like, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it'll land directly on a target, sometimes it'll land near a target. Even the 13 seconds clip where she flicked to the left at an enemy that she could see on her minimap, and also, you know, was probably the next general location to check. You can even see that it didn't land perfectly, and she didn't really intend it to land, you know, like on the rock. Like she expected to see an enemy on that side.
your target switching combo. This might be an audio cue, minimap ping, knowing where someone is from a previous life or before a clip started, or just sending flicks to common angles. A lot of times in fast respawn modes, you can just send a flick at an objective or where enemies spawn and have a good chance of at least getting close to someone. Sometimes you just get lucky.
Yeah,
this is all
literally in a smoke screen. You can't even see it, but you're just still gambling in a smoke.
relevant because it explains the why behind Riley sending a flick towards the objective and why she kept firing for a few bullets after. This is just common practice within the community. The reason why it's on the rock instead of the angle is both unfamiliarity with
Take
the
flanks.
and because she
Try to
just
be a
missed.
ninja.
This is an overflick. She didn't mean to flick that hard. Stuff like this happens. Like this
Need the battlefield team to clear Riley's name. Could you imagine the aim training blow up?
underflick where I shot the wall exactly where the person is at
training's
instead of
already
the
blowing
angle
up.
I was going for.
Good
In
at
this case, it's not as dramatic, but the principle is the same.
Fighter to
gamble
cross or
flicks, you would
teleport.
eventually end no shakiness, just a robotic stop. People have based their entire style around this sensor quirk, manipulating when the sensor stops tracking
yeah.
paths,
So this
stop
is just-
extremely fast and stuff.
This is just picking up the mouse. This is one thing I actually don't really know how to do very well. Like, if you go on to something... 360 target switching. Like, I need a really high sense if I'm gonna pull this off in game. Where's RileyCS? Oh, there she is. See? Out of 91k people. I'm obviously like really forcing it if you can't tell, chat, but that's essentially what they're talking about. And this is like, this makes it look really flashy and inhuman. And this is like a technique that, you know, most Battlefield casuals will just say aimbot to because it doesn't look human. Yeah, I'm just bad at it. If I was playing this normally, I would just go like, you know. Although I'm pretty sure this scenario kind of just demands that you do it. Yeah, kinda. I could get 20k on this if I sweated.
In some ways, it's a display of skill. In others, it's about pushing boundaries and showing others what's possible.
I want to go to this
This argument is
section.
honestly so stupid, but it comes up so often that I have to talk about it. The first is that target switching is just one kind of aim. There are a bunch of different ones with people
Can't really blame people for not knowing one run flicks is so niche. Aim training in its entirety is so niche.
specializing in all of them, but switching is probably the flashiest. The categories do interlink in a lot of ways, but it's absolutely possible to be good at one skill and not be even close to the top at others. Riley's honestly really good at most of the categories, but her speed switching is definitely a step
Are you getting number
above
one
the
smooth
rest.
bot TS at some
And
point?
that's a skill that most FPS players haven't
One of my
seen
least favorite
pushed
scenarios
that
on
often.
that bench.
That said, Sarah Frags used to be a target switcher too, and look at her now, constantly in the discussion for the best mechanics in Valorant. The second reason is that she just doesn't enjoy taking games seriously. She's like
I'm the same way.
somebody who shows up to a local basketball
Right.
game and is constantly going for ball handling tricks. Like, yeah, you and being a pro is so demanding.
I'm the same way, chat. Because, listen, when I tried out the finals, right? It was something that I felt like I could go pro in. It was something that I felt like I wanted to dump a million hours in because I love the finals so much. But the thing is, chat, when you try to put like a competitive sort of feeling on a game, and like you go into the game strictly to like compete, to win, right? And to sweat, it kind of ruins it. At least from my perspective, it kind of ruins like the inherent joy that I have, right? It almost turns it into its own sort of job, right? I don't want my games that I enjoy the most to feel like a job, right? The only exception to this that I think has remained true currently is Overwatch. Like, I only play competitive in Overwatch. But if you think about how I've talked about Overwatch over the years, it's mostly like I have no reference. You know, clip farming. It's basically the same thing. Like I just clip farm. If you see when I play Overwatch on stream, I just clip farm and I play like an idiot on purpose because that's how that's just fun. It's funny, you know? And if I were to sit down every day and play the game extremely seriously, I would tap out. And I did end up tapping out, right?
Not as accurate with my vertical adjustments. Favor of tracking characters like Soldier 76 or
I explained it in this video, chat. I did play when I was on my collegiate Overwatch team, but over the course of 4 years of college, right, chat, I played for 3 of those years, right? I played for 3. I played for my freshman year, not my sophomore year, junior year, senior year. I didn't play for my sophomore year because also because there was personal things going on. But I didn't play for my sophomore year. Also partially because I didn't really enjoy the competitive field, right? I didn't want to. I no longer really had any desire to go pro, quote unquote, in the game. Because like, you know, it just didn't feel good. And I can assume that like all these people that are like, so why aren't they go pro and why don't they go pro and signed? You know, but besides the idea that like it's just one category of aiming, or it's just one aspect of the game that they're playing, it's also like the commitment. You just don't want to make that sometimes, right? Think about it. I feel like a lot of these people just don't understand the demands of esports. Like, esports is very serious of a commitment these days, and it's like, you can't just be like, ha, I'm good, I hit every shot, and I posted like 9 clip dumps. All right, Team Liquid, sign me, please sign me. Like, that's not how it works, bro. And I don't know where these people have gotten the idea that that's how it works. I don't know. I get a little bit confused about it, because I don't know, it's just like, it feels like the least amount of critical thinking that you need to be doing at all to realize that, to understand why some people either don't want to or can't. Right? Like, I get the wasted potential comments all the time as an aim trainer. I don't know, there's like two sides of it almost. You know, there's people that'll say that, you know, aim training is a waste of time because it doesn't work. Or, you know, on the completely opposite side, they'll say aim training is a waste of time because you're not putting all of that improvement to use. It's like lose-lose, you know? It's lose-lose all because they just don't think about it a little. Yeah, you could be very good aim-wise, but not good at the rest of the game. That's my entire deal. What else is there to react to in this?
Like, we're talking 5 to 8 hours of scrims a day, constant training regimen, so much external stress to perform well every game, and the audience dehumanizing you and judging your every move. It's not all it's cracked up to be. Then there's the fact that most games don't play.
I've been watching this 1R6 guy. Apparently his story is, his name is Uzi. And apparently his story is that he, like, basically, he has 100% the skills to go pro. But he just didn't, right? He chose to pursue streaming. And, you know, if you think about it for a second, it 100% makes sense, right? I think Uzi is like, he's probably like way better off just, you know, not pursuing the pro scene of that game. Like, I completely agree with him.
Aim as a skill of utmost importance.
Probably making more from it too.
To continue the basketball analogy, aiming skill is kind of like shooting ability. It only matters as much as your ability to play with a team and get yourself into situations to utilize that shooting ability.
No one thinks about this, ever. No one ever thinks about this.
I do honestly believe that if a game like Battalion was still around, or Battlefield 4 competitive was more alive, she'd be really good.
This is an amazing video.
It's just not the reality we live in anymore. She did get to Immortal in Valorant, but she's not nearly.
I think early on in
the keep pushing the game's specific skill any further.
In the discussion,
thousands upon
it was
thousands
like,
of hours of dedicated.
The dumbest argument at the start of this was like, how can aim evolve? How can aim change over time? It's just clicking the mouse, lol. Like, it's just stupid. It's just stupid reductions of what we do. It's not much else that I have. I think that. I think this is gonna be a net positive, or at least I hope it will be. Chat, what do we feel? Be honest. This is a net positive for our community. In the end, I know it's pretty bad right now. I think for the most part, we're looking at a net positive. And just a reminder, like, chat, everything's like, you know, crazy on Twitter. Everything like is blown out of proportion. I think that the what we need to take away from this is that aim training is getting more exposure finally. But yeah, I just wanted to give a nice outlook because, you know, being an aimer right now is like pretty funny. And it's it seems as though we're under fire a lot from the rage baiters, but it's not really. Like, this is This is gonna get so much exposure for us. Exposure that I wish happened a long time ago when I was like at my absolute peak grinding. Alright. I promised that I would play the Infinity Mice scenarios. We get to that now.